half a century in shackles. Gajraj, meaning king or big boy elephant, is 70 to 75 years old. He was captured from the wild as a calf, beaten into submission, and has been chained in one spot at the Yami Devi Hindu temple in Aund, Maharashtra, India for nearly 58 years. On a Saturday, never having committed a crime, he was finally free from his terrible sentence. Injured, partially blind with foot abscesses, his tusks hacked off to protect the mahouts who abused him daily, frail from decades of poor food, lack of hydration, or movement, he was abandoned to die, still chained by all four legs, until Wildlife SOS, aided by funds from PETA, launched a rescue mission. His owner, the Queen of Aund, had been persuaded to surrender him, but still the Gajraj Freedom Team of 12, vets, drivers, mechanics, and handlers, needed police protection when they arrived on Wednesday. At first, villagers turned out to bid him farewell, but the atmosphere quickly turned nasty. A crowd of 500 tried to block his path, attacking the team with rocks and stones. There was a lot of drama and anger as we approached, said Kartik Satyanarayan of Wildlife SOS. The elephant was aggravated by a loud and unruly mob. Now, why would locals not want him saved? He's an icon. I first learned of the Asian elephant's plight when I visited Guruvayur Temple in Kerala, southern India, in August 2015. There were 5,000 captive elephants in India, 600 temple elephants in Kerala alone. At Guruvayur, approximately 38 star elephants, the number fluctuates due to deaths, 2 years ago I counted 58, forced to be living statues, earned $600,000 a year for the temple owners from donations and festival appearances. Many have been chained in the same spot for decades, only released to be driven at top speed to festivals where they're controlled by nails driven into their feet, pressed to keep them still. The Mail on Sunday expose garnered nearly 50,000 shares around the world, but little has changed. Guruvayur promptly banned cameras inside the compound, and while David Cameron promised to help the Asian elephant, Theresa May quietly dropped the issue from her manifesto. Sangeeta Iyer is a Keralan-born filmmaker. She first learned of the plight of these elephants in 2013 and felt compelled to do something. She raised the money to make a documentary using crowdfunding. Filming wasn't easy. She was threatened, received abusive emails, and said the elephant's owners and handlers tried to undermine her. When I go back to Kerala, I need police protection, always, she tells me from her home in Canada. As a Hindu, I'm ashamed. We need to speak out, intervene. In 2014, I met a 53-year-old female named Lakshmi. She was chained in a temple in Kerala, but was reasonably well looked after. When I returned a year later, she was a different elephant. I asked what had happened. The mahout lost his temper when she stole his food, and he blinded her. Heartbreaking. It's not only temple elephants like Gajraj and Lakshmi who suffer. Elephants are forced to carry tourists all over Southeast Asia, driven mad by captivity, isolation, and brutality. As Duncan McNair of Save the Asian Elephants tells me, just one recent instance is that of Golf the elephant trampling a Scottish tourist to death in Koh Samui, Thailand. Afterwards, Golf was relentlessly tortured, and his screams rang out across the village. UK travel companies still recklessly send tourists to such quote-unquote resorts. Gajraj didn't go quietly to his new home at the Wildlife SOS Sanctuary at Mathura, southeast of New Delhi. He wouldn't board the specially adapted ambulance, which, by the way, was at a cost of $70,000. He found the noise from the crowd terrifying and became confused and anxious, but instead would only shakily approach an open truck, trumpeting all the while. After a journey of 930 miles, thankfully Gajraj was transferred to the ambulance at a secret location, he arrived at the sanctuary, where his chains were removed and where he'll receive specialist geriatric care for the rest of his days. He had been calm on the journey, working his way through sugarcane, a local farmer offered his crop, and watermelon spiked with a rehydration solution. His abscesses were dressed, as well as a knee wound. An animal who has only known cruelty stood nicely while treated. What a brave boy. Gandhi said, "The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated." India is still in the Dark Ages. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.